Hey guys, seniors, this is your last week of high school. I'm sorry it's not really the year that you guys imagined, but hopefully you have some good memories at South. Maybe I'm a part of them, hopefully. But I just want to say congratulations and I'm really proud of you. So you guys will actually have a separate assignment if you're a senior, and I will assign that directly to you. So you'll just have a review and your actual final for the virtual learning. Lady wants you guys to see her fox. She's so excited about it. She just got a bath today, so she's just looking so pretty. Sorry. But for the rest of you guys, this is your last week of new stuff. For some of you, it will be review, just because we're kind of at the end of the unit. But for most of you, this is our last week of new stuff. And then we are moving on to the next week, which will be actual review for your final. And I will assign that final to you probably Thursday or Friday of next week, not this week. And then you guys are done with school. So we're almost there. We're in the last few weeks. So just keep at it. You guys are almost there. And remember that all of the stuff that you are doing in any of your classes can only help your grade. So it's really important, those of you guys that are kind of on that bubble, to really continue to push through and get that stuff done. That way your grade does boost up. As far as everything, I am, again, really proud of you guys for keeping up with everything and doing the assignments, what you're supposed to be doing, because I know, especially as the weather gets nicer, it's really hard to want to sit in front of a computer and do stuff. So again, I miss your face and I hope you guys have a great week.
So last week we solved using the zero product property, and this week we are going to be seeing equations where it's not equal to zero. So as you can see in equation 1 and equation 2 in your notes packet, it does not equal 0 like it did last week, which is a problem because we can't use that zero product property that we did last week if both sides, if we don't have at least one side equaling 0. So in order to fix that, all we're going to do is get rid of these numbers out here. So if I do that, the opposite of a -3 would be a +3. And I'm going to add that to the only like term on the other side, which is 45. So that makes my equation x squared plus 14x, that part didn't change, but 45 plus 3 is 48. This side cancels out. Now it equals 0. So now I do the exact same thing that I did last week. So I make that diamond problem. So 1 times 48 would be 48. 14 would go on the bottom. So again, I could get that those factoring sheets and look through those, which I will do. So 48, there we go. So I know since these are both positive, my two numbers are both going to be positive. So 1 and 48, you can't see that, there we go. 1 and 48 does not add to 14. 2 and 24 also doesn't. 3 and 16 would be 19, so that's not it. 4 and 12 would make 16, so that's not it. 6 and 8, that does add to 14. So my two numbers are 6 and 8. So I do exactly what we did last week, and I bring down this 1x squared. And then I want plus 6x plus 8x plus 48. Now I group them. So 1x squared and 6x, well, number-wise, they can only both be divided by 1, but they both have x's, so I'm going to take out that x. So 1x comes out, and then I am left with 1x squared, because 1 divided by 1 is 1. Or I could, not squared, sorry, because x squared divided by x would just be 1x, so let me get rid of that so we don't confuse anyone. There we go, it's like it never happened. Okay, then we have 6 divided by 1, which is 6. These x's cancel out. So, just like before, I'm going to leave a space and write 1x plus 6. Okay, and then I need something here that will multiply to 1x and give me 8x. Well, that's going to be a positive 8. So when I write this, just like before, I want 1x plus 8, which comes from the two outsides, and then I want one of the parentheses, because they're the same, they're copycats of each other, and we equal 0. Now, just like last week, we're going to make two equations. I have 1x plus 8 equals 0, and 1x plus 6 equals 0. So when I solve this, I subtract 8 first. Now, 1x is just the same as x, so 0 minus 8 would just give us negative 8. And over here, I would subtract 6 first. So 1x again is the same as x. And x is going to equal negative 6. So there are our two answers, negative 8 and negative 6. There we go. So again, same exact process as before. You are just having to solve the equation on this side to make it equal 0. So I'm going to go ahead and do number 2 just so we have an extra example. All right, so once again, the first thing that I want to do is make it equal 0. So this negative 6 is not helping us. So I'm going to add 6 to both sides. So that gives me k squared minus 14k. And then 42 plus 6 would give me 48. My handwriting is atrocious today. And now it equals 0. So, as you can see, these are very similar. So when we're filling out this diamond, keep in mind it's not going to necessarily be the same numbers, even though they're very similar numbers here. So at the top, I have positive 48, because 1 times 48 would give me 48. But in the bottom, I have negative 14. So when I'm trying to add to a negative and multiply to a positive, I need them both to be negative. So again, you kind of did the hard work over here. 6 and 8 would multiply to 48 and add to 14. It's going to be the same thing if they're both negative, because they're going to add to that negative 14. Okay, so then I'm going to bring down 1k squared, negative 6k, negative 8k, and then positive 48. Okay, so then I can group, and just like last time, these just have 1k in common, so that's what I'm going to take out. So 1 divided by 1 is just 1. K squared divided by k would be just one single k. -6 divided by 1 would be -6, so watch your negatives. And these k's would cancel. And I'm just going to copy that same parenthesis. Oh, geez. It's very hard to write and hold this at the same time. Okay, so now we're trying to figure out what goes in the middle here. What times 1k would give me -8k? -8 would be my answer. Okay, so then I have 1k minus 8, my two outside pieces, and then 1k minus 6 because of the 1 in the parentheses. So I'm going to make those two equations. Gosh, it's just so hard. My paper keeps moving. All right, so there's my two equations. So for the first one, to get rid of 8, I'm going to add it. They cancel. 1k, once again, is the same as just k. So k is going to equal 8 this time. I need my paper to stop moving. Maybe I should have taped it down, I guess. All right, and then over here, I'm going to add 6, add 6. So 1k is the same as k. And 0 plus 6 is 6. So there are my two answers here. So again, long story short, the only difference between this week and last week is you are just getting rid of the number that it is equaling by doing the opposite of that number. So if it's a negative like these two, we added it. If it's a positive, you would subtract it. And then it's just the same exact process. So if you have questions, let me know, and good luck.